On this episode of the Best in BA podcast, I sat down with Natasha Barnett. She is a podcaster, influencer, and lifelong Broken Arrow resident. I hope you enjoy this episode.
I was born and raised in Broken Arrow. I didn't graduate from BA, but that's a story for a different time. But I graduated from Coweta. My parents, they have lived here their whole life as well. They both graduated from Broken Arrow. My grandfather was the mayor for about 10 years back in the day. So Broken Arrow has been home. And this is where I've grown up, and this is where I've had to learn some of the hardest decisions of my life. But also, it's been such a good community to grow up in.
Yeah.
The foundation that we have here in BA is something that is kind of unbreakable, in my opinion.
I agree. And that's what's so fun for me with this is I'm still so new here.
Yeah.
Like my wife and I just said, all right, we're moving down there. We ended up in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, of all places. Didn't know anyone. And we were just like, Jesus, take the wheel.
Jesus, take the wheel. Yes.
Very truly, like just dive in head first and we're like put ourselves out there. But what I'm getting at is the fun part for me is I'm seeing Broken Arrow from an outside perspective and then getting to hear people who have like grown up in BA and have seen what we're now in the Rose District.
Exactly.
What it was before to what it is now.
Exactly. It has grown so much, especially the last few years. I would have to say like the city itself has grown and just the community interaction with each other. Like when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of like the gatherings and like the farmers market, or we had Rooster Days and we had like the skating rink. Friday night football was and still is a big thing here. Don't kid you there. But I'm talking more so of like small businesses. For example, this weekend we had Loft on Main Street. They were doing their thing. We had the ice cream stuff going on, the farmers market going on. There's a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything for everyone, I feel like now. And I think that's just so beautiful what they're doing.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's funny because as the internet goes, and you also do social media and we'll get more into that later, but it's funny. Everybody has been beautiful and sweet and amazing since getting down here. There's randomly the person on TikTok who's like, I hate this place, this, and this. And I'm like, you don't realize how good you got it here.
Yeah, there's something, this is something I've learned, over this last year of this journey I've been on with social media and my podcast is that there is always going to be somebody that is negative. And that is when I feel our job is just to be like, okay, that's your opinion. I'm going to turn my eye away and just continue on. But yeah, there's always somebody going to say something.
Yeah. And that's like with the stuff I'm doing with Best in BA. So I have some stuff I'm doing on TikTok. I've just always loved creating. I've always recorded videos since I was young, whatever it was, probably since we had a little digital camera, but then like our iPod Touch and whatever it was.
Oh my gosh, the iPod Touches. I totally forget about the iPod
That was
Touches.
like my intro to just, creating stuff and just having fun. I wasn't sharing stuff on social media early more than just like your middle school, high school, whatever you're posting. But just seeing the evolution of like what's possible with it is really cool and scary and awesome.
It is so scary. It's so crazy. Literally when I jumped into this world, I said to my husband and to my dad, I said, it only takes one video to go viral. And ironically, I had one video go viral. Probably wasn't the best video that went viral, but it was me smashing my daughter's tablet. Because I was, I was so tired of it. And two, it was like, this is a heavy topic, but these kids on these tablets and the social media and the pressure that they feel these days are a lot different than what we were feeling when we were growing up because we didn't have what they have access to now.
Yeah, well, I was on the front end. I was one of the guinea pigs for sure.
You were, weren't you?
So I'm 25, so
okay.
we weren't as early. I think it's worse now with the tablets and stuff. We still had like these little Leapsters when we were in elementary school.
Okay, yes, I remember the Leaps.
But going into middle school. But that's the thing too, is it's just outright dangerous as well. I don't know if you know of the Demand Project. They help women out of sex trafficking situations, young girls. So I had Jamie on. She's like the fundraising person at the Demand Project, and we won't go deep into this stuff, but it was very much like, yeah, you know, you obviously in your household get to choose how you deal with it, but there's not a passive route that is
that is
safe.
easy. Yeah, no, seriously.
Easy, so.
And I think people are kind of, I don't want to say, what is the word? Not ignorant, but I think people are blinded. I don't think a lot of people realize how dangerous how dangerous it is out there and what they're exposed to. So when it comes back to Broken Arrow, we are the 17th safest city in the United States of America. Like, that is such a big deal.
Yeah,
that's
not? Huge. That's huge. I mean, and I didn't mean to go too much down that rabbit hole, but I wonder, because it's like you have that passion and conviction and knowledge of like this. I really don't want this in my house for my kids at this time. And then you have people probably on the other side. Like, what were those comments like?
Oh my gosh. I mean,
because there was over 1 million views, right?
Yeah. I think I'm at 5.5 million views now. Yeah. I'm like, dang it, TikTok. Why do you, because like, I guess on TikTok, you have to have like 10,000 followers before you'll be able to start making money. Yep. And I was like, I asked ChatGPT, I would have made thousands of dollars off of that video, thousands of dollars. But anyways, the comments, I was the most hated mom in America. But you want to know what's so funny is all of the comments were from like teenagers, like, and bots, like
lots of bots,
a lot of bots. So it was funny because I've always like in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, when something does go viral, how am I going to handle that? How am I going to handle the comments, the opinions, my phone blowing up nonstop? But I'm not going to lie, it was a bit overwhelming. But like my social media manager, she was like, you've got to keep the comments on. You've got to keep the comments on. And I was like, ugh. But finally, I just turned off my notifications. Yeah. I mean, my phone still blows up every day with it. But I mean, it just went viral. It clicked. I think it ruffled a lot of feathers. I think, especially in motherhood and social media and how the kids are getting raised. I mean, you're 25, I'm 35. I mean, for example, I watched TV, but I was outside 99% of the time. I mean, I think at your age, you were outside, but I think that is when things started shifting of the safety but at the same time, we didn't know everything that was going on either. Social media, we know literally every little thing. Like yesterday, I mean, we had that girl off the bungee cord. We have 2 wrecks. I mean, 2 airplanes that crashed. And it's just like, years ago, we wouldn't have known that. That wouldn't have been a thing.
It's just so much to digest and so much going on. And it's funny because where my mind goes is, you know, I'm in the marketing space and I work with businesses, and I'm like, you know, a lot of it, even like unpaid work, is just me trying to be like, hey, you know, go out and create content, like, you know, and a lot of it is the fear of perception, which is very real. And I feel that too. And I still you just got to do it. But what I say to people is, as there's so much going on, the hardest part is to get people to want to pay attention in the first place. It's like, if we've gotten to that point, then we can go from there. You know,
it literally takes, what do they say, like 5 seconds to get someone's attention.
Oh my gosh.
And it literally matters. Like your lighting matters, what you're, when I dived into this world, I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea what you guys did. These creators, these influencers, these businesses, I have so much respect for creators now. No wonder they make the big bucks. It's insane.
I have a lot of respect for, I mean, like, I think there are a lot of intentional creators, like, and even locally, that's, you know, I think one of the topics that we kind of got introduced on was, you know, with the stuff I'm doing for Best in BA, helping to promote Broken Arrow businesses. This year, I'm hosting an event called Best Fest. It's going to be a festival after the Best in BA voting period. So businesses get nominated, the community votes, we name the winners, and then it's not 100%, but it is very likely going to be at the Broken Arrow Events Park down off the Turnpike by NSU in the new amphitheater. And, you know, vendors, music, whatever, and announcing the winners there. But really having that event be, hey, it's businesses first. and the community is invited, but we're here to support the businesses. And
Right.
I think there's no specific event I'm talking about, but I think at events, it can happen where it's like, there's this event going on and then we're going to have businesses over here.
Right.
You know, where it's like, no, the goal here is to connect the businesses with the community.
Again, with the businesses side of it, and something I've learned over this last year of Beautiful Chaos and all the things is that networking and communication and having that is so important, and face to face is so important. And this is how I was raised. You scratch my back, I'm going to scratch your back. Like, you help me, I'm going to help you. Like, it doesn't matter how big or how small it is. And that is something that I have really just always lived on, especially growing up here in Broken Arrow. But with all of these small, amazing businesses growing, instead of, I think, taking the pressure off and just supporting each other is what I believe that you are trying to bring when it comes to the Best of BA. Because, yeah, these businesses, I mean, let's be honest, some of them don't have the budget for advertisement.
Most don't.
And, I mean, that was something that I did with Beautiful Chaos. I said, I need 15 tables for my podcast launch party. Okay, give me 15 tables. They gave me 15 tables. I gave them 12 episodes of ads.
Yeah.
On all platforms. I mean, sometimes it's not about the money. It's more about the relationship and the loyalty and the support.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think what's so cool about it, you know, the term influencers gets thrown around, creators, whatever. It doesn't matter. Call it what you want.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people, Tulsa area, I mean, who do amazing content. And the mind-blowing thing is the reach that these accounts have, because you've built trust with, you have over 4,000 followers on your Instagram that I saw.
Yes.
And usually those are going to be much more loyal than, I don't know, whatever amount of views someone pays for on a paid ad, right? So it's like the power and the reach that these content creators have. There's an event in the Rose District every Wednesday morning. It's called 1 Million Cups. A gentleman named Bradley hosts that. I've never even heard of it. It's businesses present, and there's business owners or community members, whoever there. It's just a free event every Wednesday morning. But a woman came and spoke. Her name is Maddie, and she has a pretty strong Instagram following. She built her account up doing This Weekend in Tulsa. Okay, content.
Yes,
You've probably seen it.
Yes. I think I follow her. Yeah.
But her collaborations that she does with businesses, she's getting
incredible.
Hundreds of thousands of views, and whatever they're paying her, I'm sure they're getting a really good deal.
Well, I think, and that's another thing when it comes to influencers and creators, I think with how it started, because it started with clothes and trying things on and like all the things. And now that, these main content creators are making millions off of one post, but also if the small businesses can get behind their local influencers or local creators, do a trade. You don't have to give me I'm more than happy to help you. I'm more than happy to make a post. Yeah. I'm more than happy to come to your event. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I don't know if you would call yourself, but I would look at myself as maybe a micro influencer in a sense of my following compared to some bigger followings personally. Not to minimize what I'm doing. But,
no, I think don't ever minimize yourself.
But I think there's a lot of in a scale of, let's say, someone has hundreds of thousands to, there's a lot of people who have between 2 to 15,000 followers locally who might not be quite as eye-catching as that 100,000, 200,000, whatever, but those people have an audience. And if there's crossover in the product you're selling or what you're doing, and that's where you find the magic. Yeah, you're going to have stuff that businesses would partner with you on that wouldn't make sense for me to partner with.
Exactly. And I feel like once the small businesses are able to find exactly who they are looking for to represent them, I think that is when the magic happens. But also, you can have an influencer that has let's say 1 million followers, or you can say, or me, for example. Okay, I have 4,000 followers. I have been going to Plank Fitness out in Tulsa. Went to 3 classes in 1 week was kind of crazy. But anyways, I posted about it. And my reel got over 3,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't pay me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing I know is that I have women that have never tried it, never even heard of their business,
Mm-hmm.
and want to go. And I am now bringing business and money into their workout studio.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like with the small business side of it is like, shake my hand, let's do it.
Mm-hmm. And it's still so,
But it's intimidating.
It's intimidating
because people, sorry to cut you off.
No, please.
Like I said, people have a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to influencers.
Mm-hmm.
They think the reputation of it is not beautiful. And the more that I'm getting involved, I'm just being very honest. The more I'm getting into the influencer world, I call myself a wannabe influencer. It's very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And these top brands they have the checkbook,
Mm-hmm.
but our small businesses, like our businesses on Main Street right here
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in our own town, Magnolia Soaps, I did a deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
No cash, no money. It was product.
Yeah.
And
that's pretty dang cool to be able to do.
And that is what it's about.
Yeah.
You support me, I'm going to support you. You have a grand opening, I'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
I just have 4,000 followers, but that 4,000
when you look
is loyal.
When you look at the local breakdown of stuff too. I mean, I even think of like the, with what I was doing on Best in BA last year, 180 businesses got nominated, and I posted everyone and collaborated with them on the posts.
Yeah.
And the businesses who had followings, now we're sharing an audience,
Yes.
I mean, and that's why I say why I'm so excited about the stuff that I'm working on now is the more businesses lean into it, the more it helps everyone involved.
I do think it's intimidating, especially for the small business owners. I think they're not used to this type of thing. I mean, because we have to understand, small businesses, they did have a place at one point.
Uh-huh.
They are what ran the world, what ran business. And now we have all these corporate offices. You have Amazon, you have Walmart, you have DoorDash. I mean, if I need a screwdriver, I can just order it from Lowe's and just get it delivered. Okay, well, no, I want to go to my local hardware store and get it from the gentleman that's been working his butt off for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
So when we walk in saying, hey, let's help you, they're a little intimidated. So the more I feel like what you're doing is literally doing such a, what's the right word? Not a foundation, but a pathway. So these businesses can grow.
Yeah.
And they're not having to shut their doors. And I think that is really cool. And for you just to move here a year ago and you're putting yourself out there and knocking on doors and asking for collaborations, because that is one of the hardest things. And I'm going to say this. I don't think people understand, creators like us, we have to put ourselves out there.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to get rejected.
Mm-hmm. Most of the time.
Most of the time. But those yeses will change everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I learned over this last year building my.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's just like try and try and try. And, I'm seeing the traction and seeing the brand recognition and stuff like that going. It's pretty fun. I also think, it's just hearing you talk about like the local hardware store, small business is the backbone still. I mean, even though we have corporations coming in,
the backbone.
They are the backbone, but it is kind of gone to the side where we go, and I'm guilty of this.
Yes.
It's so much easier to choose the convenient, and the honest truth is too, small businesses in a lot of capacities end up being more expensive because
because it is a small business.
Yeah, it is. So, really finding ways for these businesses to, the themselves out there and communicate like what they're doing. I mean, I think the intimidation thing is a very, very real thing, especially some of the people I have talked to who, maybe are inquiring about marketing services, and they're like third generation, built on only handshakes.
Yes. And you'll find a lot that here in Broken Arrow.
The idea of an
Unfortunately.
influencer collaboration when there's not even a website yet is
Right.
is like, all right, maybe you're not ready yet, but you know,
and just the budget. They don't have the budget for it.
sure.
They don't have the money for the marketing. And like you said, it's a third generation company. I mean, for example, my grandfather and my grandmother, they used to own Hood Station on Main Street. So you know where Rib Crib is now on Main Street? That was a station.
Oh,
That was
wow.
a gas station. And it was for years. And they it was called the Hood gas station. And I was raised there. But I mean, that's where people would go and get their cars fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And then Quick Trip came.
Mm-hmm.
And you know where the Quick Trip is now on 71st and L?
Mm-hmm.
That's where my grandparents' house used to be.
And it's like,
So they sold their house to Quick Trip, and then they sold the station to Rib Crib. You want to know how long the city wanted that station? They hounded my poor grandpa for that station,
Yeah.
that corner,
man,
because it's right there in front.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you dangle the money too, and it's so
But
tough.
it's called evolution, and our
Yes.
city is growing.
And it's hard because it's like I both, you know, I'm torn at times where it's like I see that, you know, I'm like super excited that I'm getting a Home Depot close to my house, but I'm also like,
Oh yeah,
if it
over
was-
there. Yeah.
so it's so tough. But I think, you know, retail's a tough one to compete
Retail's a
on
tough
as a small
one.
business. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff here, but as a mass scale, I mean, how are you going to compete with a?
I mean, look, okay, let's look at Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa. Okay, that used to be the #1 place in our area to go shopping. Now, these stores can't survive.
Mm,
And then, well, because everyone's doing online shopping and we don't need the malls anymore.
mm,
And with the small shops, okay, for example, we have this beautiful boutique. Oh my gosh, Chelsea, please forgive me. Herbs and she owned Gas Pedal. What was it? What's the?
I'm not sure.
We don't know the. I'm gonna have to look it up.
You're good. No, look it up. We'll clip it. We'll clip.
No, that's one thing I love about podcasts is that you can edit anything out.
Yeah, I try and keep it like as. I try and. Give
I can
myself the
see that
least
you
amount
do
of
that.
edits.
I'm over here like starting over because I'm like,
No, you're fine.
that's how I. Okay, herbs. It's right there on Main Street. It's right here. Oh, Herbs and Living.
There you go.
Okay, so like for example, Herbs and Living. I mean, their clothes are more expensive than, let's say, American Eagle, Target, those type of places. But it's a small business, so you got to pay, and you're paying for better quality.
And in what I think will truly help these businesses the most is if someone can tell their story.
Yes.
Whether it's you, whether it's me, whether it's them, whoever's empowered to tell their story. You know, I think, I mean, and we won't go deep into this, but you know, in the world of AI where it's so easy to make, you know, a graphic, I can make a graphic for your business in 2 seconds, you
Yeah.
know, and but what do I know about you? You know, it's so easy to look professional, but like, who are you? Who are you as a business?
So, for example, Jay Spencer over there on Tiger Heel, I did not realize that was a boutique. Okay, and that's been there for years now. I needed a stationary notebook before I went to church because I had a meeting at church, and I was like, I'm just gonna run in here, get a notebook, and I walked in, and it was like, holy, what is this? And they were like, yeah, we've been here. And I'm like, okay, I know that, but where have you been? Because you're not reaching your audience. So I literally was like, hey, I'm a wannabe influencer. If you guys want me to come in here and do a try on, if I'm going to do some reels for you, that's the problem. They need to be able to reach out to people and say, hey, we see that you have a good following. You're from Broken Arrow. Or if someone's offering it, take it. Because nobody in my friend group knew.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
A lot of people. I know, literally, you think Broken Arrow is big? Broken Arrow is so small.
It's already feeling small. It's
so
weird.
small. Everybody knows everybody, and everybody knows everything about everyone, and I love it. I love it. But, I mean, just for that example about that small business, Jay Spencer, right there. Next to Meddy's, next to all of those shops right there on Tiger Hill. No clue. And I have lived here for 34 years. They used to be over there on 71st East. But yeah, I had no idea. I walked in there and I was like, ooh, my husband's not going to like our credit card statement.
Yeah.
And they were all giggling and laughing. But I said, hey, I'm like, here's my number. Here's my Instagram. Here's my podcast. I would love to collab and help you guys grow.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what's so cool about. I mean, like I think that's like it's just organic. I mean, it's organic content. I mean, it can be paid if you have a deal with them, but like it's organic content where it's like, hey, this person is working with you, like they're a real person. I mean, you see big brands doing that now where they realize, they go, oh, I mean, and for them it could be a little different. They're like, oh, we can pay them less and get more people to watch it. Sounds good. Yeah. You know, but that really is the thing where I look at my Facebook and Instagram for Best in BA specifically. You know, it's probably about 1,500 followers across the two. But I look at the breakdown. I mean, it's like 95% like Tulsa metro area and surrounding areas. It's like that's the market that, you know,
exactly.
I mean, that's and there's content creators who have a broader reach, maybe where they're like not super, you know, regional. Like I'm very much Broken Arrow, Tulsa area, where I'm not going to have brands from outside necessarily reaching out to me. But the people who are in this area and the businesses who are here, I mean, like I didn't do it. It wasn't even, there was not even any trade or anything. I just, when I got down here, I was just having fun posting some TikTok videos, whatever. And I popped into, there's a place called Smashed BA. They're like a retro arcade and they have like a grill in there. And they're like, hey, people are coming in the door. Like, this is sweet. Like, would you come over to the chocolate shop? Yeah. So, but I was just like, this is weird. Like, I mean, I didn't put no effort into it. I put some effort into it, but you know, I was able to edit it in like 15 minutes.
Right.
And I'm like, and people are coming in the door. I mean, I just had a podcast episode, and with a guy who's a hat maker. He there was a place that used to be right across here called 46 Trading Co. They moved.
Yes, and they moved.
But I posted a TikTok because he fitted me for a hat, and he's like, people are coming in, and all the comments, they're like, we showed up and he wasn't there. It was the weekend of the Rooster Days rodeo,
and that is
so
what
he was
is
gone.
Exciting, and that is why the influencers and the content creators, small businesses, reach out to them and reach out to the small ones. Okay, for example, call me, email me, text me. I'm trying to build a special community and a special world for women that do struggle with mental health, that are struggling in motherhood, that need that woman empowerment, because that is something that the Lord has literally put on my heart. I can get emotional talking about it, but I feel like in today's society, even in businesses, even in content creating, is that everybody is trying to compete with everybody. Let's stop. Let's pause. Let's support each other. Let's, even if it makes you uncomfortable, let's do it. Because I think the more the small businesses see how important influencers are and content creators can be, and it'll just change their whole dynamic. And, but like you said earlier in the episode, like they've got to find the right niche. They got to find the right person, because not my 4,000 is going to want to see me at like the arcade, maybe, but they would more maybe want to see me at the toy shop on Main Street, or Let's Play BA, or Bounce You over there, the new one on 101st now. Is it 91st? 101st. But that is what this episode is, what I am wanting people to hear from, in the small business owners, to be like, hey, don't be scared to reach out, because positivity can come from it, and you will get people coming into your door, and you will see some change. And it's not about the money for me. It's about community and the networking and the support of each other. Yeah.
So I nerd out on the business side and the marketing side, so I can go down that way too much. But I want to hear more about like what prompted you to start creating content and then start the podcast. And was that something you've done for a while, or was that just jumped into
Oh
it?
my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this with cliff notes, or we'll be here all day. Just kidding. But no. I'm just gonna start from the podcast. So my whole life, I've always been kind of confused on what I wanted to do with my life. I kind of floated. I graduated high school. I went to college. Wasn't my thing. Went to beauty school. Wasn't my thing. I mean, even though I graduated, I still have my license, which is very important because somebody always needs a haircut. But I always was just like, what do I want to do with my life? And for the last decade, I've been working in the oil and gas industry. As a safety manager, assistant, and a document control manager. I traveled for 5-6 years all over the United States. And then I finally came home after COVID happened. I really haven't been out on a job site. I work from the house. And still in the midst of that, I'm like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? And I had a friend ask me, what do you want to do with your life? And I was like, I want to start a podcast because the best thing I can do is talk. I can talk to a wall. I can talk to a stranger. And I'm a very blunt and honest person. Like, I don't hold back. Not in a disrespectful way by any means, but I feel like life is too short just to beat around the bush. Like, let's talk about it and let's respect each other and let's love each other for that. And so in the midst of that, when she asked me a podcast, I was like, oh my gosh, okay. You know what? I kind of want to look into this. And then this was a 3-year process. It was not easy. I was not in a good space. Right after I had my daughter, I had a really bad postpartum depression, really bad anxiety. My husband was on the road working, pretty much a single mom for the first year of her life, and I was really struggling. Then about a year and a half ago, I finally asked for help, and I got the help I needed. The Lord just guided me through that, and over about 3 or 4 months into that, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this podcast. And me and my girlfriend, we had an idea of to do it, and we had no idea what we were getting into, and it just wasn't the right time. So anyways, fast forward, I went to my mom and I said, I'm gonna do this podcast. And it was scary, and it was nerve-wracking, and I knocked on a lot of doors, and a lot of people said no to me. And a lot of people were like, she's not going to be able to do this. And so Will, my producer, Redford, he's with Citizen Sound, amazing man. I bugged him, and we took a meeting, and I showed up with my presentation of what I wanted to do, what I wanted to talk about, who I wanted on the podcast. And by the grace of the Lord, we were able to make it happen. And I started that because in my struggle with my mental health and with my motherhood journey, I knew that I couldn't be the only one. And I knew that it is taboo topics and it is a hard place to go to, but there are too many moms and too many children and husbands that are struggling with mental illness when it comes to postpartum or, I mean, the whole thing. And like I said, I've always been present on social media. I love social media. My dad and my mom hated me on social media. Literally, because I'm just on it all the time. But I mean, for a while, it wasn't for healthy reasons. It was to see how many likes I was getting or getting the attention. So when you just grow out of that. And then when I started seeing everyone else like becoming these influencers and content creators, I was like, I can do that. I can share my story. I can be honest. I can do what they're doing. So I've launched the podcast. Season 1 is out, and it has been the most life-changing year of my life. I rededicated my life to the Lord in October. And if it wasn't for God's will, I probably would not be sitting here today with you. And when it comes to the influencer and content world, if you look on how I kicked off the podcast, I kind of started backwards because I launched the podcast with no episodes, no following, nothing. So I was gas pedaling. And then in the middle of the season, I was like, okay, I've got to dive into building not just beautiful chaos. I got to build Natasha Barnett. I got to build Tasha's platform. And I met a beautiful, beautiful friend off of TikTok, which me and you have mentioned that we meet the coolest people off of TikTok.
Yeah.
Her name is Maya. She lives in Nashville, and by the grace of the Lord, she has helped me and taught me the ropes of influencing. In editing, and I mean, I was slow at first. Now, like I made a video today and posted it, edited it within maybe 15 minutes, and here I am. I'm building a beautiful platform, and I mean, that's really what I'm trying to do here. I'm not here for the money. I'm not here. I mean, yeah, the money's great, but I'm not here doing this for what is the word I'm looking for? The material reasons. I'm here to let's support each other, and when it comes to businesses and small business owners, we're here. We are here, and we want to support you, and we want to see you thrive. And that is really how I got into it. Like I said, I'm a wannabe influencer. I am not no Hannah Adams. I am not no. There are so many amazing influencers.
Now you're minimizing. You told me not to. I mean, wannabe influencer. I mean, you're doing it. So I mean, like you're creating. I mean, influencing, creating, whatever you want to call it. I prefer content creator just because it's it's what you're putting into it.
Yeah,
influencer,
I prefer content creator.
But influencer, whatever, call it what you want. I mean, first off, I appreciate your vulnerability, in that, and I think it's such a need. I mean, it is the worst it's ever been. We are the most isolated and lonely that we've ever been, and we're the most connected that we've ever been, right?
Literally, I have goosebumps because that is such a true statement, and it's so scary.
Yeah.
And it's so wild how we can be in a room full of people and feel so alone, but then also be at home by ourselves with our phones in our hand and feel the most connected to the world.
Because we're living through other people's.
We're living through that could be a whole other podcast topic.
I mean,
that's what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's like.
And that's why I think my video went viral.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it evokes emotion. I think that's ultimately what it is. It's like, it brought out emotion out of people. I mean, that's something like since I've gotten down here from Minnesota, I find myself in a lot of, networking settings, business settings. And I wouldn't say that I'm like out there enough that I'm like being rude, but I'm very much like, I would much rather either make a fool of myself, like get a laugh out of someone, like just be like, let's be human, because I
support that.
There's been so many like business settings that I've been in where I'm like, I'm just not that button up, like corporate. I'm just not. So like, why are we talking? Well, you feel like we have to talk like this. I'm like, I'm not that.
Yeah. And I think the more that Tulsa is getting bigger, we love Tulsa. The more that Tulsa is getting bigger and more of the platform that our city is growing, it is becoming more button up business. I mean, we are one of the number one cities with oil and gas. I mean, Cushing right down the street. There's a lot of money here, but more so, I would rather make a fool of myself, make someone laugh, put myself out there to make that connection than be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Or like, not be who I am.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we try really hard not to be like abrasive to people and be kind of like creating friction. And, I still probably am reserved, like in a
Are you
an
introvert or an extrovert?
Definitely an extrovert.
I am too. And it's so funny because I am surrounded by introverts. And I'm the most bouncing off the walls, outgoing, crazy person. So when it comes to meeting people and networking and being a little bit louder in the room, I think it puts bad taste in people's mouths sometimes, because I think maybe they are under the assumption that we're trying to be the center of attention, and we're just, no, like that's just who I am.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's refreshing, for me at times where it's like, hey, we are all just humans in these settings. I mean, I think that's something, whether it's in any new thing you're trying. I think for so long I'm like, they just have something different I don't have, and then now it's almost just like they did it, like I can do it, like why not? Like
but you don't want to compare yourself.
Yeah, for sure. But, but I guess in the sense of like growing up, that's what I always thought. It was like this person, maybe this just came easy to them. Like they're better at this or whatever. And then after, trying things and trying different things, like failing at stuff, you go, oh, like they just kept going at it, and I think the tricky part too, and you could probably attest to this with creating content or growing a following. We see people, it's hard not to want to naturally compare to someone who like they post a video, it's a hit, they all of a sudden have 500K like in a week, and you're like, what?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
But the amount of people who can actually handle it, it's not a lot. I mean, and I think a lot of
people, yeah.
I think building a solid base of like what you're doing, especially with a topic as personal as that. I mean, I guess a question I was wanting to ask is, what's your perfect scenario with your podcast or with your content? Like, what is the dream with that? What is the dream with it? Yeah. What is it working
Oh,
towards?
man, this is getting heavy.
It doesn't need to be heavy, but just like kind of.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be very honest and very transparent. When I started this podcast and started this journey, I was very naive. I was the only one that has this idea. I'm the only one that wants to talk about all of these topics. No, honey. No. But that's the beautiful thing. Is something that you said earlier is like, we are trying to get to the Broken Arrow, Tulsa metro. That is our community. That is our audience. And that's just kind of like what stuck with me was, okay, I need to stop trying to reach all of these people like in, let's say, London or whatever. You get what I'm saying? I need to start reaching the people and the moms that are next door to me that I walk by. I'm going to get emotional. I walk by every day at church. Or the moms that are struggling at a small group, or the dads that are becoming single dads. I think my dream and what I want my podcast and what Beautiful Chaos to become is whatever God wants it to be. I'm just going to follow his lead, and I'm just going to let him guide me into it. And I mean, of course, the human side of me, I would love to be, let's be on the Today Show. Yeah. Let's have okay, I would love to have a show on Netflix. But that is so high up that I think season 1 and the season I'm in now, and the Lord, with his guidance, I think it's kind of just put me back into, kind of grounded me a little bit. But yeah, I just want to be able to reach the women that need to be reached.
No, that's really good. Yeah, I mean, it's fun to dream about those big goals. Like I like what you said. Obviously, it's the direction God wants to take it. But I mean, I think I hear when you're talking about like the local reach. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll be more in person. Maybe you'll be the organizer of these in person gatherings. I mean, like that's for me. I mean, and maybe I'm just kind of verbalizing what I've been feeling with a lot of stuff. But I'm like, there's never enough. Or there's never going to be too many spaces for people to connect and organize and gather. And like one group, like whether it's a small group with church or a business networking group or a whatever, some people aren't going to be a fit here who need a community here. And I don't know, just hearing like,
I think the outreach, what you're trying to say, is so important.
Just like the whether it's just encouraging people to get into community, but that's what I'm hearing is like, you're not alone.
Yeah, you're not alone, and the community behind it. Like I get what you're trying to say. I think it's phenomenal that we are now trying to do more things as a team and as a community in such of, okay, your thing might be podcast. Great. Okay, I'm going to probably join a podcast group, but let's say your other friend needs a sense of community. What is that? What's that? Pickleball? Everyone plays pickleball.
Say pickleball.
Yeah, so pickleball. Like, I mean, that is what is so important. And they just talked about this at church this past weekend, is that who you surround yourself with. I mean,
everything.
It's everything. And I think there is a spot for everyone. We just have to give them the path and show them the path where they can find it.
That's really good.
And that is passionate. That's on my heart. So like from us sitting down in the best of Broken Arrow and the best of BA and like all of it. It's just there are so many outlets now where people can get plugged in. Now it's how do we get them there?
Yeah, 100%.
How do we reach those people?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. Just trying to think. I mean, we hit on a lot. Is there anything that you want to make sure that you say before you go? When's your next season start?
Oh, okay. So season 2 is happening. I'm not sure when. I know it's going to be in fall in 2026. So, but I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of loving this break that I'm on. I'm really been able to take a step back and focus on my marriage and my daughter and just work on myself a little bit more because if I'm not okay, then nothing else is okay around me. And that is something that I have learned to accept. But also, now that I got one season in, I know what it takes now. So I would love to do another season in the fall, but it might be more of the winter 2027.
No, I mean, yeah, I think that's the most important thing.
I mean, I might
like
have a few things up my sleeve that I'm not going to announce just yet that I'm excited about that's coming up. So stay tuned on that. But yeah, I think what you're doing is phenomenal. I think you're like, kudos to you. Like the bravery that it takes to do what you're doing. Like, yeah, you're an extrovert. Yeah, we can talk to whoever. But you moved from a different state to good old BA and you have put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And keep on making those content reels. Keep on making those TikToks. Keep putting yourself out there. Keep doing it. People are going to say whatever they want to say. Who cares? I do not care. There's always going to be a hater. There's always going to be someone that has something to say. But if you are getting joy from it and it's helping you grow as a person, as a husband, as a man, do it. And if it's glorifying the Lord, amen. Like, I am all here for it. And I'm all about building community. So come on, Broken Arrow, let's build a community together.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on.
Oh my gosh, I loved it. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.